Hello everyone. Gather round as we explore a story from many years ago and see how dumb it is. This wonderful text was written between 1179 and 1180 by a guy called Nigel, which has no negative connotations today. See Finding Nemo. Nigel de Longchamps was a clergyman in England, and he took it upon himself to write a story mocking centres of education and the church, using the character of a donkey. Now, I know the text is a satire, but that doesn't make it less dumb, it just explains why it is dumb. Anyway, introducing the Speculum Stultorum, or the Mirror of Fools. Our story begins in Cremona, in the land of the Italians, where we meet a donkey called Brunellus, who lives under his master, Bernardus. And like many young men, Brunellus is concerned about the length of his appendage, his tail. He thinks that his short ass tail makes him inferior, and this donkey wants to overachieve. So somehow he contacts Galen, as in the physician who's been dead for 1,000 years, about increasing his tail. Have a look at this fun woodcut depicting it. After much prodding, he is told to go to Salerno, which is near to Naples. Back then, Salerno was a legitimate centre for medicine, but in this case, Brunellus was told to buy some weird faulty drugs for his tail. Like, a couple of ingredients include, and I quote, a bit of Christmas night and a flea's liver, which seem questionable. Well, no matter. One way or another, as in, I don't think is ever stated, Brunellus gets these ingredients and is making his way back to the quack when, surprise monk attack! Some grouchy Cistercian monk, you know the type, called Fromundus, sets his dogs on Brunellus. Carnage ensues, like half of his already meagre tail is ripped off and the ingredients are lost. So Brunellus dropkicks Fromundus. This donkey, who just wanted a bigger tail, literally kills a holy man. Anyway, Brunellus looks at himself in the mirror and has the equivalent of a human epiphany. He's an idiot. So, as we all know, the best way to de-idiotise yourself is through education. Brunellus sets off on a perilous journey north over the Alps and makes his way to the Sorbonne in Paris, which is pretty highbrow. The problem is that he's a stupid donkey. As in, after 8 years of studying, he still can't remember the name of the city he's in. But you can still say hee-haw, so that's a bonus, I guess. Brunellus the donkey eventually leaves and decides to join a religious order, which makes sense. Religion is a surefire way to become famous, for all the right reasons. The problem is that none of these religious groups fully satisfy him. Nigel really shows the hand of the author here, as the next pages are a long tirade about Dominicans, Franciscans and other groups. And when you think it's all over, he starts another one about kings, pontiffs and other religious positions. To be fair, these parts were probably tacked on afterwards by someone else, maybe even after Nigel died. Anyway, Brunellus decides to start a new religious order, the specifics of which are unclear, except that he just picks the easiest parts from all these groups and just smushes them together to make his own. Galen shows up, only for another long rant to begin. Brunellus then decides to go full-on romantic on us, and sits under a tree, listening to birds and writing poetry, holding a pen in his hoof, his donkey hoof, which isn't a hand. After a bit, Bernardus shows up and recaptures his donkey, which is fun. The story ends with Brunellus reflecting that if his master knew that he was destined for glory, he'd be worshipping him. So yeah, funny satire story about a donkey, and it reads like Nigel had some strange fevered visions. Don't get any ideas. Well then.